It's compelling, it's cutthroat, it's chaotic, it's clever, it's controversy and chaos, baby.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 57
Yes, 57.
of Controversy and Chaos. Here we are. I finally remembered. I wrote it down. I really have to just write everything down because the way my brain functions,
I'm crying.
I just clearly have no real concept of time because as we're recording this, I can't believe we're flying through the episodes. And I'm like, how do we get to 57?
I know. Even hitting 50 was like, oh shit, we're at 50. And now we're like closer to 60. Crazy.
Soon we'll be at 100. Like at the beginning, probably, the beginning of next year sometime, we'll be at 100.
That's crazy. Listen, you never know. By the time we hit 100, we might, I don't know, we might be somewhere. Oh my God.
It's just like I be in my head like, no, don't think too far in the future. Just like be present in right now. But it's hard.
Yeah, it is. Because it's like at the end of the day, you have goals and you see different things for yourselves or whatever. So it's like, how can you not look into the future? And I think naturally we're both like dreamers in a sense.
Yeah. So it's like I have
realistic dreamers, but still
delusional.
Dreamers. Yes. Yeah.
Not delusional. But yeah, it's like I have to at least think a little bit ahead because that's how my brain operates. I can't just be like,
yeah,
I don't know, just whatever happens, happens. I can't I cannot deal with that. As much as I want to adopt that, I cannot.
I mean, it's also not fun because it's like if you're just living every single day,
but there's people like that, and I'm
like,
oh,
you don't want to have anything to look forward to, nothing. Like,
and I be wondering, like, I need to find these people and I need to ask them questions because is it like a disappointment thing? It's like, oh, I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to be let down. So I choose not to like live ahead or make future plans because I just don't know how things are going to work out. But I'm just like, not even like a possibility, like nothing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you got to have like a full 5-year plan, but not even 365 days.
Right. Like,
nothing.
You got to have something, very much something.
I'm already mentally planning all my vacations for next year.
Oh my God.
In my head, I'm like, I'm done with this. Like, okay, 2025 done. Let's go to 2026. And it doesn't help that when I buy calendars, especially like the ones I be using for work, the one I have now it's a 3-year calendar.
Shit.
So it goes into 2026. I literally have the calendar right at my fingertips. I be scrolling through. I've already looked at that. I'm like, okay, what day is my birthday on next year? Like, 'cause I need to be looking for this day off.
Oh my God.
I've never. Or I look at other people's birthdays. I look at what day your birthday is gonna be. I look at everybody like birthday.
I do that at the top of the year.
I look, and then I mentally prepare myself because certain times, like if I know it's someone's major birthday, mentally I block off that time. So like where I'm planning the trips a year in advance, I'm like, oh, block off that time.
I mean, that makes sense.
Like potentially that person could have something, so block off that time. Don't plan that weekend. Just write something down. And I'll write like, oh, it's such and such's birthday. And I'll just write it from like your birthday is your birthday on a Friday this year? I think it's on a Friday.
Yes. Wait, I think so. Because I think it's either Friday or Saturday. I know it's the weekend.
Don't worry, I got my handy dandy calendar. I have it written down.
I have it right. Yeah, it's a Friday.
Yeah. Because I have it on my calendar. Yeah. Because I have it written 28, like in the middle of 28 and 29. So that I took the whole, I'm like, this whole thing. Block that time out.
Girl, I don't.
Not that you actually really be doing anything, but
I'm like, I don't know.
It's there. So I know when I'm looking at it, like, oh, can we do XYZ? Nope, because I could potentially have something to do that weekend. I'm not free.
Yeah.
So I write it down. It's the only way my brain functions.
That's not bad though.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
I need to have it. As chaotic as I usually am. My calendar is organized.
If anything, you have to have an organized calendar. At least one. Like, I have multiple calendars. You need at least one organized calendar with everything on it, like a master list of your life. Got
to have it. So we can get right into the topic because I feel like this is going to be kind of a lengthy one. Oh, no, give me your random question.
Oh, damn, I forgot it that quick. Let me go back to my list. Oh, okay, we could do this one. What was like the weirdest or like, not weird, what is the most interesting job you've ever had? Okay, so for me, I'll go first. When I was a sophomore in college, I had a couple jobs. I worked at Macy's and Towson Mall in the handbag section, but I also worked part time at a liquor store in Northwood Plaza across the street from Morgan, right? And why did I work there? I don't know. The owner of the liquor store, it was like a liquor store, and then it was like a club also in the liquor store. And I was walking down the street one day. He was just like, hey, how old are you? I told him, it was like, oh, at the time I think it was like 18 or whatever. He's like, oh, you want to come work in my club? I said, work in your club? What you mean? He's like, well, in the liquor store part, because it's a 24-hour liquor store. I said, is that safe? He's like, well, it's bulletproof glass or whatever. I said, well, how much I'm gonna make?
Baltimore, you know it's bulletproof glass.
I know, but I used to live life on the wild side. I was like, well, how much I'm gonna make? I can't remember how much it was, but at the time it sounded like good money. So I was like, okay, cool. I said, so what I gotta do? So he gave me a little tour of the whole thing, and I just literally just had to sit in this box in this bulletproof glass. The people would point and tell me whatever liquor that they wanted to buy. They put the money and they turn it around in the little like rotating door. I put the liquor in there, turn around the rotating door. And that's it. And I would be in there like wee hours in the morning. It could be, my shift could be fucking 9 o'clock at night to 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was sitting there. I would do my homework. I would listen to music. I would be on YouTube. My friends would come visit me. And I just sit in that little box and sell liquor.
Old enough to drink. Not even old enough to drink.
And yeah, I don't think I was even drinking like that at that time. But
probably not.
No, not really. I was never really I was only a social drinker. Like, all right, y'all niggas trying to drink. All right, I drink. But I wasn't even into drinking for real. So yeah, that was my most, like, I guess, interesting job. I did bottle girl service like a few times, but I was always trying to be in the party. I wasn't trying to work the party, so it never worked out. It never worked out. Like, I got too many friends in here. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go kick it. But so yeah, working at that liquor store in Northwood Plaza.
Interesting job. Like, I worked at the mall.
Yeah.
I worked in a fucking children's place. That's not an interesting job. That was hell. I hated that fucking job.
Yeah.
And every time I walk into a children's place now, I don't even want to walk into a children's place. Like, that place gave
I hate going in there.
It was the fucking worst. It was
to this day, so bad.
Children, the adults are the worst. And don't let some shit be on sale. Oh my God. Like the Easter.
And they still be a mess in there.
Still be a mess. And the fact that we would clean every shift. So like you would have to clean the store, like refold everything, kind of put everything away for the next people that were going to be on shift. So it's not just like mess. Because if you had that night shift and nobody cleaned all day, you're going to be in there. Store closed at 9 o'clock. You're going to be in there to about 11 o'clock. Refolding all these little people clothes. And I think that's why I don't like doing my child's laundry.
Probably.
Folding little t-shirts and jeans to specific measurements was annoying as hell. Especially when we would get, like, the auditor would come in for, like, our district. Literally would pick stuff up like, oh, these jeans aren't folded right. Because, like, children's place, you have to fold it so that way you can see, like, you kind of fold it so, like, you can see some of the pocket. Not the whole pocket, but like outside of it, you have to see like the curve of the pocket. So you had to fold them, and every size you have to fold it a little bit differently to get them to be presented the exact same way. I'd be like, put me on a t-shirt. These jeans. I don't. Especially when they remodeled the store and they had like the whole wall of jeans. Them jeans, if the district was coming, them jeans, every pair better be lined the fuck up. When we would get new shipments, having to put all that shit on hangers, hang it up, figure out, like, look at the map or whatever it is. They will give you a map of like any store changes, like where everything should be, what your window should look like. Hell, doing that fucking window. Hell, the mannequins, the little baby mannequins are so difficult.
I could imagine.
They're so fucking difficult because like the adult ones, and like some of them, the arms come off. So it's like, oh, you just pop the arms off, throw the shirt on, put the arms back on. The baby ones,
they don't come off? They
don't fucking come off.
Oh, hell no.
A fucking man got this and they don't like stand up so then you can sit them down. They're sitting in position. So you've got to try to get these pants on. Hell.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
And then I got fired from there.
Girl, why they fired you?
Let's not even get into that.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
And then outside of that, where did I work after? Then I worked for my mom. That was cool. Then after that, in school, I worked for the government.
Mm-hmm.
Also did bottle service. Like Sierra knew, like my government job, I used to have to get up at 4:30 in the morning to be at work by 6:30. I would have to go from, we lived in Towson, so I would go from Towson to Rockville, take 2 trains. I would have to drive to the MARC train, get on the MARC train to get to Union Station, and then take Union Station all the way to White Flint Station, get off, walk across the street. At least my building was right across the street from the train station.
That
And
was
I
a
could do
struggle.
it, girl. Also, I could go to school at night. So not only
Mm-hmm.
was I getting up at the ass crack of dawn, going to work for a full 8 hours, and they would have me doing work. So it wasn't like I could sit there and just do my schoolwork. Then to leave there by, I used to get off at 3:30. No,
Mm-hmm.
like 2:30, 3 o'clock. I would get off, leave, then get back, take 2 trains again. Now we're taking a train the opposite direction. Finally get on the MARC train. Have to still sit in traffic on 695 to get to school so I can make it to my night class that started at 6:30. And then 6:30 to 9:30, be in fucking nighttime accounting class.
Ghetto.
In that class so fucking tired. Like, what is life? Don't let me have worked at a club on Saturday and Sunday. Cause I'm talking about
Girl.
get in the house 2 in the morning, shower, lay down for as much time as possible, get up at 4:30. And I don't know how I used to do it. I used to get out of the house in 18 minutes flat every day.
I never understood it. I mean, but back then we wasn't like doing beat faces like how we do now, but like,
It was
yeah.
eyebrows and like a little bit of lipstick, nothing really extra. I think at that time we had just started wearing foundation. Like just started. That's when we was on bad.
Yeah.
That
Fit Me or the MAC whatever. What was that MAC foundation? I can't think of it right now, but
it was
if you know, you know.
In a glass bottle.
Yes.
You had to screw the top off and it didn't have a pump.
Yes. You had to just pour a little bit out, then you spill a little bit.
Pour it back. And then if you pour too much,
you just slide it back.
And I'm sure Mac sold pumps and we just never bought a pump.
I don't even know. I just know that the shit ain't come with one. I ain't buy one.
No, didn't buy one. It was expensive enough that I bought the foundation. You wanted me to buy the pump on
Studio Fix something.
That's was the Studio Fix.
Yeah, Studio Fix. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was the liquid one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were just doing that. So I could get out of the house in 18 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
Like, and I'll never forget the day that I was hungover at work. Like and I was in the accessible stall. So our accessible stall, because the building I was in was an old building, but accessible stall. So it was a single stall. When I tell you, I was in there just dying.
I could imagine.
Like white as a sheet. I am dying. I'm exhausted. I'm dehydrated. I'm fucking hungover.
And what party was the night before? Do you remember?
Yes. I think that I remember that night. I was at, you remember Red Martini?
No. What was Red Martini?
It was downtown.
What was it next to?
I think it was called Red Martini.
Anyway, I don't remember it.
It was Red something. It could have not been Martini. It was called Red something. So I remember I was there the night before, and it's very difficult when you're in the nightlife kind of work, because when people offer you free drinks, especially at 21, yes, I indeed want these free.
Hell yeah.
I indeed want the free sex on the beach. So, and then you start making friends with the bartender. Slide me on over here. Make my job even more pleasant. Like, now I'm getting tips out the wazoo.
And that's why
I couldn't keep up. Like, being hungover at work that day, I was like, and I was trying to get hired on full time after school. And I know I went to work and I smelled like liquor. I had to. I had an hour of sleep. I know I went to work smelling like a homeless person. I smelled like straight liquor.
But guess what? You made it there.
Like an alcoholic.
You made it there. I'm sure you was on time and you looked presentable enough.
But, and I remember sitting in a meeting with my boss. Like, are you okay? Like, bitch, I'm about to throw up in my mouth. I have to go now. Like, hurry this meeting up.
Release me, please, release me.
And I remember I spent that whole day with my head on the desk. I didn't get no work done. I didn't care if anybody walked in my cubicle and saw me. Leave.
Days like that is what made me not want to drink. Like, I hated.
Yeah, bottle service lasted very shortly after that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it had to end because there was no way that I could do it.
I feel like people who work nightlife, that's literally the only thing you're doing. You can't balance that with a regular life. Yeah.
No.
Or with not regular life, but like regular job and all that other stuff. Like, even I would probably say like one of my favorite jobs outside of like working in handbags and Macy's. I love that because at that time, when all the new Michael Kors and all the new Dooney and Burks would come in, oh my God, sit some stuff to the side for myself. I'm like, oh wait, hold on, I'm not gonna put this on display yet. Like, hold on. I love that job, but then also working as a waitress, I love because of fast money, and that's how I know myself. If I ever really started drug dealing, like real drug dealing, I would be good at it, but like I would be addicted to it because the fast money.
I'm going to prison.
Jail.
You know how them people like, yeah, you could have got out one more time, just one more. Jail.
Yeah, jail. Yeah, like fast money is so addicting. Like, even when I was like doing my whole like makeup artist thing and I was making fast money like quickly all the time, that shit is so addicting. So I get it. And that's how I know in order for me to stay on a straight and narrow in life, just let me go be corporate, because give me an inch, I'm gonna take it too far.
Yeah, like if I had worked a mall job, if I didn't have like a corporate job, and I didn't have like a government job,
yeah,
because everybody knew, like, I hated it. I liked it, but I hated it at the same time. But if I didn't have like a real adult job, I wouldn't have quit being a photographer. I would have been doing that shit. Yeah. That probably would have been my full-time fucking job. Like, I did that
because the money was there.
The money was there. Quickly, like, I have cash. Now, why were we working so many jobs? I don't fucking.
Because we like money and we like buying MAC cosmetics and things. And we wanted to live in an apartment and we wanted to have our little hoopty cars and we wanted to be, like we needed the funds. We had things to do and places to go.
Jobs and went to school full time. Why?
Yeah.
And that was probably the most interesting job that I had. I used to be a note taker.
What the hell?
Taker. Like, actually, for my brain to be as squirrely as it is, I take immaculate notes.
That is so funny. What were you taking notes for?
So I would take notes in different classes, and I would turn in my notes for it. I did mine for like the students who had like 504 plans, like special needs. I will write the notes for them. So they would give me like, they would look at your class schedule and then kind of sync it up with how many students they have that are taking this class that, reached out to the student center that they needed, or they needed some extra services. And they would tell you, okay, this class, the notes are for however many people, and you would get paid basically like for each class, the notes and like how many people your notes were basically going to. So I would take notes. It made me go to class every day.
Yeah.
And I would just take my notes. So all I would have to do it was what I was already writing down. They would
That's pretty cool.
And copy and paste it. So instead of keeping my stuff in a spiral notebook, I used to just keep it in a little thin binder. So that way I could take the pages out, give it to them, they'll copy it and give it back.
Wow. I never even knew that.
I was a tutor as well.
I feel like I probably knew that
as well. I used to teach. I used to tutor people in accounting 101 and 102. That was the classes that I taught. And that was it. And I had a lot of foreign students.
What?
I had foreign students, and I had a lot of older students, like people who were going to school. So this one, the oldest person I think she was like 45. And I would just help her.
I used to love my night classmates because you would go to class sometimes, because at Morgan, sometimes they work with you. I'll never forget this one lady used to bring her kid to class all the time. The kid was so well behaved, would sit there with his little coloring books and shit like that. Was quiet. We did our little 3-hour class once a week or whatever it was twice a week, and then we would be out of there. And the kid was just so well behaved. So I always used to like having older people in my class because we get in there, get down to business, and get the hell out.
And most times in the night, the teacher don't make you stay the whole time because they don't want you there.
Yeah, we would never stay the whole time.
If you are in a night class, especially at 6:30,
the 5:30 class or 6 o'clock class or whatever. Yeah,
you're not gonna be in there, and you're gonna be in there with people that want to get down to business and leave.
Yep, I used to love them night classes.
Love to be in night class.
Like, listen, I ain't missing out on nothing. The real shit don't get shaken till 8 o'clock.
Hello?
I'm good. Listen.
It just was too much. Like, what kind of life was I fucking living?
I mean, at the time, because I even think about myself, like, I've always used to have like multiple jobs, whether I was working at one point, I was working in the student center. I was also working at Macy's and then also the liquor store thing. Or I quit the Macy's thing because they were not trying to give me hours. They tried to put me in intimates. Like I got sick of measuring them old lady titties. I did not want to do it. I said, if you're not putting me in handbags or fragrance, which fragrance, they never want to put you any young people over there. In fragrance or jewelry, they not put you over there. Handbags, you can go over there. Shoes, I hate it. So if you're not giving me a shift in the handbag department, I don't want the shift. So forget it. So I had to substitute it for other things. And I'm like, well, I don't want to get another mall job.
Random grocery store.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I worked at that random grocery store. They had me making freshly squeezed orange juice in that bitch. Oh my gosh.
And it was the most like obscure grocery store. This was not your Giant.
No.
This shit was Safeway.
No.
Shoppers. Like
it was
this
called
your grocery store.
It was a family-owned grocery store called Growls Market.
Mm-hmm.
It was only like 2 stores in the whole state or something like that. I don't know, but I worked there too. Yeah, I always had multiple jobs. I never was just a one-job bitch. That's why I feel like a lot of times when people are like, how do you juggle so much? This has been me my whole life.
Multiple jobs. I just think like I was just foolish because I would hate that I could not go out for Thirsty Thursdays because I worked on Friday. I worked on Friday where I had to be up and ready to go at 4:30 in the morning. And
you did miss a lot of rec room nights and things of the nature. Yeah, you did.
The time I would go, I regretted it so much the next day, like hours. We would get home at like 2:30 in the morning, another 2:30 night, and just be like, okay, I'm going to go out. We're going to have mad little cups, mad fireball shots. I'm dying the next day at work.
Okay, but also I feel like we could have gone out back then and not like turned up, but we used to always get free stuff.
We could have. No. It was 21 in college and beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have free fucking drinks. I'm taking all and I'm not, it will not go to waste.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like
25 of those plastic cups all over the table. Like,
could you imagine if we like, I feel like we as people, right? Like even with my other friends like Eb and Quita and stuff like that, we did so many things like in silence. Like if I was like a YouTuber or something back then and vlogging, if I vlogged my life back then, bitch, I would be a fucking millionaire by now. Because the stuff that we were doing in places that we would be finding ourselves, right? People would love to watch this.
Insanity.
Yeah.
Insanity.
Yeah. Good times.
Like an urban simple life.
Yes, literally.
Literally. Random shit on the most random day.
No rhyme, reason, or explanation.
Just vibes.
Yeah. Like, how do we even get here? I don't know.
Crop top, bold lipstick, vibes. That's all we had.
Yep.
About $20. So good times. Good.
Yeah.
Good struggle time.
I think everybody should go through a phase. I think all girls should go through that phase, you know?
Not struggle. Don't go to work smelling like liquor.
Okay, please. Not that. But I'm saying just like, living life with the vibes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be a girl. Just a girl.
Just a girl, literally. I saw a meme the other day that was like, this bitch keep posting, I'm just a girl. Bitch, you 35. And I had to agree because you should have had your just a girl time. And this time period that we're talking about right now, we were just a girl.
Just girls. And we had a blast.
Sure did.
We could have had even more fun if I wasn't working like a crazy woman. Fucking idiot.
I don't know. I think we've had good times after that. We've made up for it.
Yeah. What could have been?
Girl, what could have been?
I just feel like it would have been a lot of, she can't say excuse me?
For sure. We had plenty of those.
What a time. So now that we got that out of the way, I just want to let y'all know that Sierra gets me addicted. And she knows I have an addictive personality. So I don't know why she introduces me to things that I'm going to get addicted to.
Like so what?
I'm currently addicted to Pop the Balloon. I cannot stop. Stop that. So like every time I'm like, ooh, a new episode, let me watch it.
Every Wednesday.
I did my hair yesterday, and that's how I know I'll be getting fast because I did one half of my hair, and I looked, I said, oh, how much time did that take? 26 minutes. So full head in 57.
Yeah.
And the episode was an hour and 15. And then I used the rest of that time to wash my makeup brushes. But when I'm watching Pop the Balloon, sometimes like when people immediately walk out and I'll be like, they be like, what happened? I'm like, they didn't even say a word. And y'all all
Sometimes you don't have to. I mean,
but then when they give the response, when Arline's like, oh, so why did you pop your balloon? I don't know. It was like, I'm like, no, baby, you popped that balloon off bucks. So just say the nigga was ugly.
or you didn't like how he carried himself, or he was ugly, or whatever. Like, my thing is, this is not the time to get up here and be pussyfooting around. Stand on business. You popped the balloon.
So why you pop it?
Say what it is. Yeah.
On a like serious level, let me be an adult here. Like, I feel like Pop the Balloon is a perfect example of how people only are interested in or only look at their type. And I feel like the world where everyone who is dating, if you talk to anybody that's dating, they tell you how horrible their experiences are. Like, I haven't heard one person be like, oh yeah, like I love dating and I do all these cool things and I meet these cool people. Everybody complain about the dating scene. And it made me just think, it's just like, okay, is it only because people are dating their type, quote unquote, their type? Whether and most likely it's just aesthetically. Because I feel like you can kind of, you may not be 100% attracted to somebody. It's like, they ain't ugly, but it's just like, I wouldn't typically go for this person. And sometimes when I'm watching it, and then you kind of hear people like, let's say they, you know, they pop the balloon off bucks, and then the person keeps talking, or even if they don't pop immediately, as people are talking, and then they be like, and then people will pop their balloon, and then when they go to them to see like, okay, why did they pop? And they're like, oh well, they found some bullshit reason of why they actually popped it. And then if the other person like who's, I guess, looking for a match, they like further explain what they meant. Like if their response or whatever was unclear and they further explain it, then people like, oh, then they be regretting popping the balloon.
And they want their balloon back. Yeah.
Like, can I get the balloon back? No, bitch. No, you can't. But I'm just like, I wonder if that's a lot of the issue that people have when they're dating, is because they just won't
open themselves
up. And also just not like, if I'm not 100% attracted to you, like I want to jump your bones right now, you can gain attraction to people. Like, okay, like once I kind of heard you speak, I got to know you a little bit. Even just a few days, it's like, oh no, I actually really do like this person. And then that kind of just fades away. I feel like maybe did I just crack the code? And that's what people's problem is?
I think people, this is such a layered thing, but I think people are so judgmental. And I think I literally just told one of my single friends this the other day, because like, you can't find a husband if you don't find a boyfriend, and you won't find a boyfriend if you don't date. So just date. Like when you're on the dating scene, date to get to know people and to have fun. Then once it comes time to be exclusive or be in a relationship with someone, that's when you be a little bit more intentional about who you could see yourself marrying and building a future with. But in the first instinct, you don't need, as soon as you meet a man, you don't need to say, oh, that's going to be my husband. No, like, why are you doing all that? Just vibe a little bit and see where this thing could go. Like, you're not going to find a husband if you can't even find a boyfriend. You're going from stranger to husband. You can't do that. Get to know these niggas a little bit and vice versa. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, because I just feel like, and maybe it's because like I don't think that I have a type.
Me either. I don't think you do either.
I don't have a type. Like, if I look at anybody that I've talked to or dated, there's very few similarities.
The only similarity that I'm gonna be honest about is that 6 foot plus.
That's it. That's
it.
They tall and black. That's it.
They tall and black.
That's
different shades of black.
Different shades
of dark. Like that's the only thing I could say is
my type.
You know, that is similar with anybody I've ever entanglements, dated, whatever. You know?
I always feel like you just kind of be open to people. Like if you like them, then fine. And I don't feel like it's a slight to be like, especially like people who are married. If someone like a married person comes out like, oh yeah, I wasn't attracted to my spouse like when I initially met them.
That literally
nothing wrong with that. Like that's a very honest thing. And I feel like when you say stuff like that, people will kill you. Like, oh, you weren't attracted to your husband. It's like, no, I didn't say I wasn't attracted to him. Now I'm saying when we first met, this is not the typical person that I would have gone for.
Or it's just like, you know, you could see somebody be like, oh, they cute, and just keep it moving.
It's like, ooh, that's to have them.
Yeah.
Like, they're cute. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's the reality for some people. Some people, it's not always, oh my God, googly eyes and love at first sight. Sometimes it could just be simply like, I'm intrigued. I want to know more. You seem like a code I want to crack. And
yeah, like just,
I mean, yeah.
and it's, I feel like even if you only, I've never heard anybody say they only date light skinned men. That I've never heard.
There are
Never.
there are some women that only date light skinned men, and there are some men who only date light skinned women.
Yeah, it's like I feel like from my experience, that's kind of only come from men, but I'm sure there are women, and then vice versa. There are women who only date dark skinned men.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's it. It's like, oh baby, you light skin, get away from me.
But I also feel like there's nothing wrong with having a preference. It's just how you go about it. Like, I just think, like, off first glance, dark skinned men have always caught my eye first. I mean, when you're younger, when you see light skinned boys, it's like, my God, but that's because you grow up crushing on like fucking Little Bow Wow and Chris Brown, right? So when you see boys that may look similar to that, then obviously it's going to be whatever. But when I was like in high school and college, dark skinned men always caught my eye first. But that's because, like, I don't know, they just always look so serious and stern, and it's just like mysterious. You know what I mean? Like, you just give man, you know? And that's just that's what draws me. I'm very like, I love an alpha man. Like, you know, I need to crack that code, you know? So that's always what it gave in my personal experience. Light-skinned men in my past were way more like in your face. In my past experiences, they were way more forward facing and mixy and outside. Whereas a lot of the dark skinned men that I've known, brown to dark skin, they were a little bit more reserved, a little bit mysterious, walking through the room. And that's what attracts me. Like, it's just kind of, that's just my truth. Okay. So yeah, but I don't think there's anything wrong with someone saying they prefer something. It's just what comes after the preference. If a guy's like, I only date light skinned girls, or I prefer light skinned girls, and then they come out their mouth and say brown skinned or dark skinned girls are ugly.
Now that's a different conversation.
And that's what happens a lot of times. There's a lot of men who would put the prettiest brown skin or the prettiest dark skin girl up against the most basic ass light skin girl and be like, oh yeah, the light skin girl's prettier.
Bitch, where? Like, I'd be so confused.
Yeah.
I'd be so fucking confused. But I always kind of pay attention to how people operate and the things that people say. And it's like, even like I've met men who are like that. And that shit is such a fucking turn off. But that's what I'm saying. Is like, you gotta give people an opportunity to show you who they are.
Right.
Rather than just being like, now, if it's just zero attraction whatsoever, then cool. I'm not saying that you should just, like, you have to have some kind of attraction towards the person. Now, if you just, in your mind, if they're just butt ugly, then yeah, move along.
Yeah, you can't be a dust ball now. Like, come on. Like,
yeah, I can't be like, who is that?
What they say, that's a face only a mother could love.
Only a mother could love. No. And this goes both ways for men and women. If you look like a booger wolf, please get away from me.
And not a booger wolf. But there's also that theory that girls think if they fuck with an ugly nigga that he's gonna treat her better because he's ugly. No, a dog ass nigga. You never heard of this before? Girls be like, yeah, I like my niggas a little ugly because he not going to cheat on me. Because I guess they think in their mind, if the dude is ugly, nobody else wants him. Somebody always wants somebody. Please believe it.
And sometimes want other people just because somebody else has them. Like,
exactly.
The looks was never
exactly. You know how many women will go after a man that's in a relationship or married just because they see how that said man treats his wife or girlfriend or whatever? Bitch, that don't make he gonna treat you like that. Let's be for real.
But yeah, I just feel like people would do a lot better if they stepped outside of their comfort zone and just like, okay, if you're going into a situation like the episode that I watched, it must have came out on Wednesday because I think it was one.
Was it the girls lined up and the guys coming out? Okay, yeah, that was
So I was like, these girls. Sometimes I'd be like, no, come on now. Who did the casting? On both sides. I'd be like, but one of the guys, he came out there, and when I tell you, he couldn't even get a word out, and they were probably like, oh, he's bald. I said, oh.
What's wrong with a bald man?
Every single time Arlette went to them, it's like, oh, well, like, why'd you pop the balloon? He's like, oh, he's bald. But then it's really nice. Like, everything else is really nice. You're just bald. What? And I'm just like, okay. So
my thing is, you're 30 something, almost 40. A lot of the women are like
super young. When I first started watching it, I was assuming that these people were going to be like, oh, 21, 22, like very young.
No.
They'd be up there like, no, I'm 35. I said,
Mm.
whoa, you
Yeah.
cannot be 35 with this same mindset. At what point do you be like, okay, if I'm 35 and still single,
You got to do something different, babes.
like, did I do something different? Like, try something different, or at least give the people an opportunity to ask one question before you just like pop, 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 pop. And I felt bad for him because I didn't see what they were talking about because he didn't even get an opportunity to say anything.
I know exactly. Yeah.
Well, he ended up leaving with somebody. He left with one girl, and I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I was just like, I didn't understand because I didn't see anything wrong. I was like, he was dressed nice. Now, some people come up there.
But I think in general, some men just can't dress. Like, I feel like if
that's some country shit you
blue
got
suit
right there. Whoo, baby.
The blue Steve Harvey suit, but he wasn't ugly. He just had an outfit on that was just kind of like, I could fix this up. You know what I mean?
And him, I think his outfit was wrinkled. And that was kind of like, when the girl was like, did you just like fly here today? Did you have to try here? You ain't had no time to like at least iron your shit? Nothing?
Yeah.
We can fix that. If you're not the best dressed,
you can fix that.
Nothing the mall can't fix. I can dress you. It's fine.
When it comes to like dressing though, I feel like a couple episodes ago, there was a guy who had a lot of accessories on, like rings, bracelets, chains, and a lot of the women felt like he was too accessorized. Now that might sound like a weird dig, but for me, I also don't really like a man being too accessorized because it's like, we're not about to be going battle for fashions. If I say like, oh yeah, you could probably not wear that bracelet, it will look better this way. And then you want to come at me because I'm offering you, some opinions or advice. Then that goes into the whole, oh, you just trying to change who I am. This is how I like to look. The guy that I'm specifically thinking about, I do feel like he was way too eccentric for most women's likings. Like, no, not Mozzie little fuck. Yeah, no, not him.
He pisses me off every time I see him.
Yeah, he pissed me off too. Like when he did the reunion with the Versace robe and he got off that fake helicopter.
I said, oh my God.
Yeah, not him. It was somebody else. But yeah, I do feel like there are certain things that like appearance wise, if somebody likes to dress a certain way, you can't really do too much about it because if you critique them or try to change it, then they're going to think you're coming for them opposed to trying to just enhance their look. Now, if we're talking about a man or a woman who just dresses a little bit more simpler or like not with like maybe the latest fashion, somebody like that, you can suggest like, oh, I think this will look cute on you. And they'll be like, okay, cool. But when it's someone who takes a lot of pride and like thinks in depth about what they're wearing, you can't change that.
Yeah. But I also think that that's not like an initial thing. Like you can, girl, I just met you today.
Yeah.
You like, okay, you could not like it, but certain things can be changed, at least to get to know that person. Because like if you get to know someone, like, okay, they have to kind of build a kind of trust with you to be like, okay, I trust you to like change the way I'm dressed a little bit. Or you can just like gradually be like, can you take a bracelet off? Do we have to wear all of them?
Yeah. Like, I think it might look a little bit better if you did this.
It would be simpler, it'd be cleaner if we just, took that. Let's maybe start there. So it's just like I feel like that's fine. But to just like off bucks, like the bald guy, I was like, I thought he looked nice. His outfit was nice. He was one of the better dressed people. Like I actually want to know where he got that sweater from.
Yeah. The bald dude, I didn't understand that one.
I didn't understand this. Everybody's response was he's bald. I'm like, so all that I was like, he's bald.
No, the thing that gets me the most
suit on. He was a little bit nervous, but it's a nerve-wracking thing. You're basically doing speed dating where you have to ask all the questions, which that's nothing. I hate when they get up there and they be like, you didn't think about no questions.
Like,
but it's just like everyone's like, oh yeah, he seems kind of like shy and nervous. So I'm not dealing with that. I'm like, y'all seem nervous. Y'all can't even tell people what your name is and what you do for a living. Like that is your name, your age, and what it is that you do. I like sometimes I'd be so confused and I'm like, what's going on here? Like we need to do a deep dive as to why you're actually single. And some of it is just all of the like snap judgments. I feel like that's for younger people. Like as you get older and mature and you experience different things, experience different people, like you should kind of move out of that like quick fate to like, okay, are you really looking for, what are you looking for at the end of the day? If you're just looking for someone to look cute with, then cool, by all means, operate just on 100% physical.
You're just dating just to date and have a good time. That's one thing.
Serious, or when people are like, oh yeah, I'm looking for a husband, like, you know, these are the things that I'm looking for, this is what I want in my next relationship, but it's like, but your actions don't be matching that.
Yeah. And I also think that a lot of people specifically, no, okay, I feel like women don't really know how to date because they'll find a guy that they like and they'll just hone in so much on this said guy, even if like y'all aren't exclusively dating. Like you just met him. Why are you putting all your eggs in this one basket when you just met somebody? And then with men, I feel like they don't know how to properly date because they try to date a woman and make it seem like it's only her, but really you're dealing with multiple other people. So like the honesty is just not there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's kind of like
everybody's got to be honest.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to just broaden their horizons, and people need to learn honesty.
Yeah.
And honesty does not mean you got to like hurt the other person's feelings.
Right.
But you can still be truthful about what it is that you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of people would be accepting of it. People be upset at the lie.
Exactly.
What actually is going on.
The lie and how you find out it's a lie is what's upsetting.
The playing in my face.
Yeah.
Is the problem. Like, we too old to be lying.
Mm-hmm.
We too old to be lying.
Yeah, for sure. I think honestly that's what it is.
Yeah. And it's just like, I know people are like, oh, they're married, they don't know, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Never mind. Let me shut up. Like, well, I clearly know something.
Hello?
Because honestly, I've been this way my whole life, whether I was dating as a teenager or not. I feel like I've had the standards that I had then. I still stand on those same standards now. I do think in my younger years, like I did entertain certain people in situations for the plot because that's just my personality. Like I'm always going to do something for the plot. You know what I'm saying? That's just the toxicity in me. Okay. But as an adult, if I did ever had to date as an adult, I just think that I would keep my same core principles. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. And I feel like that's how you should go into it. Like you should have like, okay, baseline, this is it.
Yeah.
This baseline, you need to at least be here. And
like,
then
I
everything work with, we can build upon. And I think at a certain point in time, like looks cannot be at the top of the list. It has to be.
You have to be attracted to the person you're with. But like, if that's not your initial, like, oh my God, damn, I just want him so bad. That's also okay because you really don't want to build any foundational relationship just strictly on lust. Like,
yeah,
let's be for real. But
like,
I also
think relationship never succeeds.
Never. It crashes and burns so quick because once you get down to the nooks and crannies and you realize, I actually do not fucking like this person. I just like how they look. Girl.
Wait, at that point, when you do that, when you operate on lust and then people open their mouths and shit falls out, you'll be like, now you're ugly. I gotta get away from you.
Like you're dumb and you're ugly.
We started talking. Like, just please, be cute.
Just don't talk.
Just sit there and be pretty. And there are a lot of men who should just sit there and be pretty. Just like there are a lot of women who should just sit there and be pretty. Because you start talking. It's like, whoa.
And sometimes those people need to go together. I mean, and that's okay. I truly believe there is somebody in this world for everybody. And before we move on, I just wanted to, because I thought about something when we were talking about dating off the same principles as when we were young. For me, I've always had a strict, like, I don't want to say, what are we doing? But like, what are we doing? I've always been clear about that. Like, if this is somebody that I'm talking to and we're just having fun, that communication has been there. If this is somebody I'm talking to with intentions of dating, that communication has been there. So I feel like I've never been in a situationship. I don't believe in that. Like, if I'm talking to you and I like you on that type of level, I'm going to make it clear that, hey, this is my timeline of what we're doing. And if you don't meet said timeline, then I'm okay to move on. And if I'm talking to somebody and I feel like, yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with this person, I'm also going to make that clear. Like, yeah, we just having fun. We just kicking it. And that's fine too. I feel like too many times women and men both get comfortable in these situationships. And next thing you know, years have gone by and you're still dealing with somebody. I don't have time for shit like that. And I don't play them type games. Like, it's real strict over here when it comes to that. I'm sorry. Like, I can't do that. Because why am I wasting my time with you when I can go waste my time with the next fine shit? Like, what are we doing?
No, and I feel like, honestly, like, I struggle with that. Like, not now, obviously, but when I was younger, I definitely struggled with kind of being okay with the what are we? Because it's like I never wanted to come off like thirsty, but it's kind of just
I
like,
think it's all in how you do it. For me, I always made it
to approach it. So it's just like
Mhm.
I wake up and like, okay, this is a situationship. And then as like, but I pay attention to like people's behaviors. So it's like, okay, as things go on, I'm like, this is kind of like a situationship type situation. Then rather than just vocalize this, like
Mhm.
let me hear it directly from the horse's mouth so that way I know how to operate. Then it's just like I just kind of move on and start doing my own thing. And then when he be mad, I be like, what the hell you mad for?
So that's my thing. For me, I've always been like direct about it because it's like if I'm not in a relationship, I'm doing my thing and I want you to know that. And if you don't want me to do my thing, then we need to be together. And if I don't want to be with you, then that's not an option. So it's like for me, very quickly, I kind of can see if I'm going to really like you or if I just like hanging out with you, which is a difference. You know what I mean? So like I always made it clear, like we don't have to be in a relationship. I just want to know like where the intention is so that I don't disrespect you and you don't disrespect me and we don't have to leave here in handcuffs.
Definitely. Like if we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend,
I don't give a damn. As long as we being respectful to each other, I don't give a damn what you got going on. As long as you're not in a relationship and you're not married, I don't care.
yeah. Because it's like I think I've been in, I guess, multiple situations. I've been in like multiple situationships, and then like one guy I found out he actually had a girlfriend, and that was a hard no for me.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like a lot of times when
I found out he had a fucking girlfriend on Twitter. I was just like, a girlfriend, like girlfriend. She went to a different school, but as soon as I found that out, it was clipped. I'm done.
yeah,
I didn't even say a word. I didn't spaz out. I wasn't
no.
like, I didn't address him like, oh, you have a girlfriend. Like I'm cool off that. I just stopped talking to him. Like
Yeah.
cold target. I seen everything I needed to see. I stopped talking to him and walked away. And I never forget, he was just like seen me at school and then had the nerve to act like I was crazy. I'm like, no. You have a whole girlfriend.
Whole
I
girlfriend.
don't care if y'all still together, not together. Keep that shit over there. I don't want no part of
No.
that. Nobody could ever say I took their man.
No.
Knowingly, willingly, absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
I don't.
Yeah.
So
not
even,
knowingly or willingly, absolutely not.
Yeah, I feel like even if I asked in that situation, like, "Oh, do you have a girlfriend?" Whatever, which I'm pretty sure I did. He was a liar. So
yeah, I mean,
he was a liar. So that was never going to work.
Yeah.
Then I also like when I seen what she looked like, and then at some point I realized like we still followed each other on social media. I've seen everybody that he dates look exactly the same. Like when I tell you everybody looks similar, it's like, oh,
ooh, that's weird.
Are we entering fetish territory? Because this is very weird.
That is weird.
Talk about height, skin complexion, facial structure.
That is weird.
Very, very insane.
Mm.
Glad I got the fuck up out of that one. But yeah, it's just like I have found myself in situationships, unbeknownst to me. And I'm just like, wow, I really could have avoided a lot of this if I wasn't like so, I guess, afraid of just speaking up and being like, hey, this is what I got going on. This is where I'm at with it. What are you doing?
I think for me, yeah,
don't come over here.
Mm-hmm. When I was younger, I never had the fear of like, oh, he's gonna stop talking to me, because in my mind, after you, there's somebody else. I don't know why I used to think like that. I never was. This is so bad. But like in my mind, like there's billions of people in this world. If I don't date you, I'm gonna date somebody else. So like, if you don't want to fuck with me, or if you don't want to take me serious, that's cool. We can still be cool. Like, it's not even no hard feelings. Like, you can't even say that I went crazy on you. The only time anybody could ever say I went crazy on them was because we was either in a relationship, I asked you something, you lied straight to my motherfucking face, and you played in my motherfucking face. Other than that, I'm cool. I don't even care.
Yeah, like, and I would just kind of be like, I've said it. I ghost a nigga so fast.
Definitely was ghosted.
Like, and we don't know each other. Don't don't you speak to me.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I've definitely ghosted people and seen them in real life. Like, oh, hey, how are you? Or just walk past like I'd never even seen them before. It just depends on how they act. If they act cool, we could be cool. If I feel like you about to be weird, hell no. I'm just gonna act like I don't even know you exist.
I'm Casper. Never seen me. Out of there. Gone. And that's just kind of what it is. And it's just like, I wish I probably felt bad about it, but I don't.
No. And plus, I mean, this is years ago. I would hope any of these men that we're referring to have moved on with their lives. Like,
wish the best.
Nobody gives a damn. Nobody gives a damn. You never gonna hear this? Oh shit. Well, maybe. I don't know. Shit. I don't know. Oh well.
It is what it is.
It is. But yeah, I do feel like in the dating world, at our big grown age, you should have core values and things that you look for in a partner, whether male or female. But having a type is going to get you nowhere quick. I think that's very stupid. So yeah.
Good. So people on Pop the Balloon, I need y'all to just like at least let them get one question out. One. And sometimes when even as a viewer, I'd be like, God darn it, I didn't even get to hear anything that they had to say.
Yeah. I feel like personally, if I was on Pop the Balloon, like one of those girls, I wouldn't pop immediately just out of respect. Like I just
like I don't like
just human decency. I wouldn't pop as soon as you walk out. I would need to at least hear you converse or something. I don't know. Something and then pop. But like to pop off the walk up is nuts. Okay.
But I do feel like a lot of the girls up there, some of them just be followers because especially okay, let's say people start popping initial walk out before he even introduced himself, anything, they start popping. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fine. Once they introduce themselves and then start walking, it's like you'll hear somebody pop and then you'll hear somebody pop again. It's like, why are y'all popping? Nothing was said.
Literally.
So what are we doing here? It's just like, are you doing it because it's just like everybody else has popped and you're like, oh, well,
it's definitely
he must not be like it, so let me pop.
It's definitely giving groupthink.
Sometimes I feel like, huh? Or of course, like if it's a girl that's been up there for multiple rounds, it's not the first round. Like somebody will come up there and I'm like, okay, all the reasons that you did not want any of these other people, you popped your balloon for them. This person is the complete opposite. And you still popped your balloon. It's like, baby, what are you here for?
If they don't know sometimes. I really think they just be going there for the plot and for the social medias or to maybe potentially go viral or something. That's what I think. And they sometimes they do, but it's not always for a good reason.
Yeah. It's like I like the show. I'm very addicted to it. And I have so many episodes to watch because I just started watching it. So I have mad filler, like things that I can just clean up my house, pop the balloon. Let me watch this.
The Ninja Turtle dude, I forget his name, Eric, something like that. He was on Pop the Balloon like last year and he went super viral. And now he's on that Erica Mena dating show. This man has been fighting since episode 1. And I'm just like, you're scary. You're very scary. I would hate to see you in real life. I would literally run the other way. You look scary, you act scary, and you got your ass beat and you still want to fight. I'm telling you, leaking. Like, girl, I say, yeah, you belong on Zeus. You didn't belong on Pop the Balloon.
I mean, a nigga who can't fight and continuously gets in fights is a dangerous person.
He fought a trans. He fought this one dude that is now deceased, but that's a whole nother story.
So he's a problem.
Yeah, he's crazy. He needs therapy. He needs to go sit on that lady couch. He needs all of it.
He might need a padded room.
I wouldn't even leave him with himself.
Damn.
Yeah. But yeah, thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers to everyone involved. But yeah, 2025, I want the people to find love.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta get shit out of the dating pool for y'all. But don't find your person this year because let me tell you, I can't handle another fucking 2025 wedding. I can't do it.
No, I mean, if they get together 2025, 2026 wedding, I mean, I could probably do that.
Nah, I don't even want a 2026 wedding. I don't think I want to go to any weddings in 2026. After this year of like
wedding, I have 2 or 3 weddings this year, I think. Yeah.
I want 2026 to just be nobody get married. Mm-hmm. Don't have no babies. Don't get met. Nothing.
Nobody can promise the baby thing.
Figure it out.
Because close your legs. Use your butt.
Something. One more invitation. One more e-bite.
Girl.
I'm like, y'all taking up all my summer plans. Cut it out. I don't want it. Cut it out. Please. Give me a break. Thoughts and prayers to everyone.
Yeah.
That's all I got for you.
Well, bye, y'all.
Bye.